Fernando Tatis Jr. is trying to prove that he's still a top 10, not F that, a top 5 player in baseball. And then there's Mookie Betts trying to be the guy now that Ohtani isn't pitching. Can Mookie Betts be the best player in baseball? The Yankees, they embarrassed the Astros down in Houston. The Braves and the Phillies battle each other for the first time since the NLDS. And we had some tempers flaring in the Brewers and the Mets game with Rhys Hoskins saying, "Wah," at another player. All of that in today's MLB Recap, and just a reminder, Recap is presented by SeatGeek. Use code Fuzzy to save 20 bucks off your tickets. And if you're into fantasy sports, use code Fuzzy on Underdog Fantasy for a $100 deposit match. Now, before we get into all of the highlights from yesterday, a few health updates across baseball. Sean Murphy, the catcher for the Braves, he missed a ton of time last year with injuries, and now the trend is kind of repeating itself in 2024, which sucks. He's so good. He just can't really stay healthy. He injured that oblique on a swing. Royce Lewis of the Twins is said to have a significant quad injury, so he's going to be missing at least a month as well, which really sucks. Now, the Twins, in response, they called up a former super prospect, Austin Martin. He had 19 stolen bases and a near 385 on base percentage last year in the minors, so maybe he can make a difference. Also, one more prospect I want to talk about, Jackson Holliday. Right now, he's in AAA because the Orioles say that he needs to work on his approach against lefties, and there he is. His first at bat against a lefty, he goes yard. Hopefully, he's on the Orioles in the next few weeks. Let's talk about the Brewers and the Mets because there was some beef towards the end of the game, so we'll talk about that in just a second. Starling Marte, he is one of a handful of guys trying to stay healthy and bounce back after a down 2023. He secures his first home run, but so did Yelich, when he goes lefty-lefty, it is a thing of beauty. I need 40 home run Christian Yelich back in my life. Milwaukee, they grabbed the lead on a Contreras sac fly in the 5th, and that's all Freddie Peralta needed. He went 6 innings, allowed just 1 base hit, had 8 punch-outs, and since 2020, he has a 6.2 hits per 9 and an 11.6 strikeouts per 9. That's insane. We're going to skip to the 8th inning. Milwaukee is now up 3-1, and Rhys Hoskins, he made a hard slide in second, and Jeff McNeil, he did not like that, but according to the rules, it was technically a clean slide. Maybe it was late. Rhys hit McNeil with the "wah" cry emo, and McNeil says that Rhys is the dirtiest player he's ever faced. Now, I just want to show this. Jeff McNeil, what are you talking about? Dirty slides. You are the king of that. But anyways, Abner Uribe, he got the save for the Brewers, and they beat the Mets 3-1. Who was in the wrong? Jeff McNeil or Rhys Hoskins? Here we go. The Phillies and the Braves were facing off for the first time since the NLDS, and Ronald, he's already back at it. He got on base 3 times in this game, and he stole his very first bag in the first inning. Speaking of bags, Wheeler and Strider, they were in theirs for the first half of this game. They both went for shutout, some of the hardest throwing starting pitchers in baseball, and they can spin the off speed to keep guys guessing. The stalemate was finally broken when Marsh went the other way for a 2-run tater. That was impressive, and Zach Wheeler, he had 5 strikeouts over 6 shutouts, so he was just a tad better. He's been top 6 in Cy Young 2 of the last 4 seasons. Can he finally break out to the point where he wins? We'll have to wait and see. He's not going to get his first win, though, because Philly's bullpen completely imploded, giving up the lead on a 7th inning 2-run double to Duvall. Duvall in Atlanta is just a different human. There were singles from Michael Harris and Ronald to make it 4-2, and maybe the pitcher's controller died or something because there was a wild pitch. Then there was a bases-loaded walk to Austin Riley. Now it's 6-2, and the bases are juiced for Matt Olson, and he did what Matt Olson does. The Braves offense, they can put up 9 in the blink of an eye, and then they add Chris Sale to that rotation. They could be unfair. So that game wasn't close at all, and neither is this next game. We had the Rays and the Jays. George Springer, he connected on a 2nd home run of the season, back-to-back games with a long ball. Tampa Bay, they're trying to answer back, and that looked like me trying to throw a sinker in MLB The Show 24. That pitch from Bassett to Brandon Lau was one of the meatiest meatballs I've ever seen. Randy, later on in the game, he singled in another, and then Yandy, he played 2 more on a 2-run single. And Tampa Bay, they made light work of the Blue Jays just the day after the Blue Jays made light work of them. By the way, shout out to Aaron Savali. Savali was tossing frisbees all afternoon. He struck out 6, allowed just 1 run, 4 base hits over 6 innings. Man, most of these games were not close at all. Pittsburgh, they reaped the rewards of Miami not being able to throw strikes yesterday. The first one came on a bases loaded walk to Jared Triolo, and 7 different Pirate hitters took a walk yesterday. Cabrian Hayes, he laced a double to kickstart a 2-run third, and Olivares, look at that RBI single. Edward Olivares is brand new to this lineup, and he has 51 extra base hits and a near 110 OPS plus over his last 160 games with the Royals. I forgot that he was traded to Pittsburgh back in December. Jake Jake Burger tried to flip the script and steal back some momentum with an RBI single, but that was all they could muster off of newcomer Martin Perez. Connor Joe, he got some runs back on an RBI double in the 6th, and O'Neal Cruz with a little RBI single. That was his 100th career game, by the way. He has 20 home runs and a 110 OPS plus through 100. Hayes ended up with 2 RBIs on the day after a sac fly, and the Pirates, they're now 2-0. That's the first time that they've done that since 2018. The Yankees are looking to go 2-0 as well, and they had to overcome an early deficit as Bregman, he played at Altuve in the 1st, and I really think that Bregman is going to break out all over again in 2024 because he was so good down the stretch of 2023. Rodon, he was able to settle down. He went the next 3 1/3 without allowing a single run, all while Christian Javier was blanking New York. When Javier has that rising fastball and slider combination working, he is one of the most unhittable pitchers in baseball, and it's tunneling between the fastball and the slider out the hand, and after a few feet, they're going the same place, and obviously they end up in different spots. Once Javier ran out of bullets and he had to leave the game, Houston's bullpen let their foot off the gas, and as Waldo Cabrera, he is having a blistering start to the season. He knocked in Wells, and Juan Soto, he was given a free RBI on a bases-loaded walk. So many bases-loaded walks to start this recap, and here's where the chaos ensued. I don't know where Pena was flipping it to, but that ended up not being an out, and then look at this. What was that? To left field again? Oswaldo, after that, he stayed hot with 2 more RBIs. He's now 6 for 8 with 4 RBIs in the first 2 games. There's a Stantonian blast to end the night. Giancarlo, he gets his first home run of the year. I know it's early, but this Yankees team has all the vibes going for them. They could be a scary, scary team when Garrett Cole comes back, but obviously they're supposed to be scary regardless. Staying with scary teams who want to start 2-0, let's see if the Diamondbacks could embarrass Colorado. Yeah, this one wasn't close either. Lourdes Gurriel Jr. and Christian Walker, they both mashed home runs. Now, shout out to the Rockies and their 2023 All-Star Game MVP, Elias Diaz. He got Colorado on the board, but methinks that made the Diamondbacks mad. Jock had 4 hits in this one. He's the first Arizona player ever to do that in their very first game. There's an RBI single in the 3rd. Merrill Kelly, he had 8 strikeouts, just 3 base hits over nearly 7 innings, and he is looking to keep adding to that resume that he established in 2023 and the 2023 playoffs. Another newcomer, Eugenio Suarez, he singled in 1 more, and Alec Thomas, he broke it fully open with a 3-run missile. Like, he knew it. That was an absolute no-doubter. Arizona, they make the World Series, then they go out and get Suarez, Jock Peterson, Erod, and Jordan Montgomery. That's insane. This next game is going to be super easy to recap because there was 1 single run scored between both teams. George Kirby and Nick Pivetta, they went full-blown 1v1 on Rust. It looked like they were trying out for optic. I mean, they were just beaming people left and right. Both starters, they went 5 shutout with a bunch of strikeouts. Pivetta, I mean, this guy's a madman. He is just psycho out there, and I love watching him pitch. He was yelling and pitching angry all night long. Just one mistake, though, to JP Crawford. He deposited a baseball into the bleachers, and that's all that George Kirby and company needed to secure a W. George almost went 7 shutout, allowing just 2 base hits on the night. He came away with 8 strikeouts. Is he going to be the ace of the Mariners by the end of the year? Let me know in the comments. Fernando Tatis Jr. was a one-man wrecking crew in this one, but it didn't really mean anything because Matt Chapman exists. That's a long 2-run home run off of Musgrove, who then allowed another run on a single to Tyro Estrada. There's Jung Ho Lee and his first RBI. His exit velocities have been impressive thus far. Everything is like 105 to 110. He's not just a slap hitter. The young San Francisco lefty Kyle Harrison, he was frying San Diego until Machado and Tatis both went perfect. Tatis, that ball went 441 feet. Harrison, he was still really good. 6 innings on just 76 pitches, 5 strikeouts on the day. Webb, Snell, Harrison, Cobb, when he comes back, that is going to be lethal. And Jordan Hicks, he looked really good in spring as well. Matt Chapman, he stole that run back on another RBI extra base hit. And Wilmer Flores, he brought in Chappie, but Tatis is not going to go away. How did he hit that baseball out? Like, it was a rising fastball on the outside corner. I mean, he is Fernando Tatis Jr. He's my pick to win MVP this year. Matt Chapman said, okay, bet, I can do that too. His second home run of the night gave him 5 RBIs, and we've seen this before. Matt Chapman is one of the better hitters in baseball to start every season. And then he kind of comes crashing back down to earth, but I'm hoping that doesn't happen this year. So, this next game right here should really put fear into every other fan base across baseball because Mookie smoked another home run. He has 3 already, and newcomer Teoscar Hernandez, he connected not just once, but twice, 2 home runs before the 4th inning even came to a close. He is a notorious slow starter, so the fact that he's getting going early, watch out for him. Miggy Rowe, he even got in on the home run fun. Imagine if he gets going, and yeah, that does it. Nothing else happened in this game. Okay, we'll show it. Bobby Miller is unreal. The 24-year-old might very well be the LA Ace by the end of 2024. 6 shutout frames, only 2 base hits allowed, 11 strikeouts. He was firing bullets all game long, and he has good enough off speed to stay unpredictable. Bobby Miller and the Dodgers. I mean, here we go. We're going to show the web gems after this last game, the Guardians and the A's, and I can recap this game by memory because obviously I watched it. I'm a Guardians fan. J-Ram, he pummeled a 2-run home run into the wind, and the wind was howling, so he really tattooed that baseball. Cleveland, they were hand-delivered a free run via a balk, but then J.D. Davis got that run back, his first of 2 on the day. Stay tuned for the second one. Speaking of 2s, Andres Jimenez, he had 2 RBI doubles, the first one coming in the 5th, and then Will Brennan, he singled in Andres Jimenez. There's J.D.'s second, and he's proven that San Francisco, they're kind of scummy for what they did because he won arbitration and then they put him on waivers 15 days before the regular season, so they didn't owe him the extra money. He lost millions because of that, but anyway, Andres, there's his second RBI double of the game. He got on base 5 times. Class A, he honestly looked like he was about to implode and blow the lead after 2 straight base hits, but he got the double play to seal it. And the Guardians, they've beat the World Series favorite A's in back-to-back games. Obviously, I'm joking. So that does it for today's recap. I hope that you guys enjoyed. I am so happy that baseball is back. I've been watching it nonstop. So if you enjoyed, leave a like. If you're brand new, hit that subscribe button and enjoy the web gems.
Establish that he can go out there and do that.
A little check swing and a diving catch. So chopper up the middle, cut off by Rocchio. His one-hop throw is on the money. Kirk.
The right side toward the line. Palacios, can he get there? He does.
This one out towards center. Jazz coming in, diving, and makes another.
Bregman in the air and caught. A sliding grab.
As Perdomo slices it to left, Jones was shaded that way. On the slide, he makes the catch.
Diving stop, Mason Wynn. A wild on to first.
Will Brennan with one on. He's going to go into foul territory, and Hernandez is going to get his first chance at the